The water cycle. The water cycle describes the constant movement of water among Earth's surface and atmosphere. Water is constantly moving from one place to another through the elements of the water cycle. These elements include precipitation, surface runoff, evaporation, transpiration, and condensation. Let's take a closer look at each element that makes up the water cycle. Precipitation. Precipitation is one of the main components of the water cycle, defined as any type of water that forms in the Earth's atmosphere and falls to Earth's surface. Water vapor builds up in the Earth's atmosphere, and when clouds get too full of water vapor, the water vapor turns into precipitation and falls to the Earth. There are two forms of precipitation. These forms include liquid and frozen precipitation. Some examples of liquid precipitation would be rain or drizzle. Examples of frozen precipitation include snow, hail, and sleet. Rain is just water that falls from the clouds. However, if these water droplets freeze before they reach the ground, it would be called hail or sleet. These types of precipitation can also fall at the same time. For example, in a bad winter, rain and sleet can often fall at the same time. Surface runoff. Runoff is defined as water not absorbed by the soil that flows to lower ground, eventually feeding into a river, stream, ocean, or lake. Runoff is a very important step in the water cycle. Not only does it contribute to the steady water levels of lakes, rivers, oceans, and streams, but it also changes the landscape. The constant changing of landscapes is due to the breaking down of soil, rock, and minerals, also known as erosion. Runoff peaks during vigorous storms when the most rainfall occurs, often speeding up the erosion process. Fun fact: erosion can carve out canyons and form boulders. A famous product of erosion is the Grand Canyon. Evaporation. Here is a picture of the overall process of evaporation. Now I will explain the process of evaporation using three parts. The first part is when the sun's heat hits the water. The second part is the reaction to the water being heated by the sun. This causes the water to turn into water vapor or steam. This can occur with ponds, rivers, lakes, oceans, or any body of water. The third part is seen when the water vapor or steam extends into the air. Transpiration. Transpiration occurs after evaporation in the water cycle. The first thing that occurs in this process is plants use their roots in order to obtain water and nutrients from the soil. After this occurs, the moisture is carried through the roots and arrives to the leaves' pores. What happens next is that the moisture is changed into a vapor and then it is released into the atmosphere. Transpiration depends mostly on the weather. For example, transpiration rates increase as the temperature increases as well. Therefore, more transpiration occurs during the warmer months such as summer compared to the cooler months in the winter. Condensation. Condensation begins when water vapor is in the air and changes into liquid water. Liquid water forms from the vapor, which water molecules spread throughout, releasing heat into the atmosphere. Particles such as dust, salt, and smoke form cloud droplets, which forms into clouds. The formation of condensation can be seen at ground-level fog, which develops when moist comes in contact with Earth's colder surface and cools to a dew point. Some other examples of condensation are when you wear glasses and you are transitioning from a cold to a warm environment, which causes the lens to fog up by small droplets coating the surface, and that water that drips on the outside of your cold ice lemonade. These elements all work together in order to maintain the amount of water we have on Earth. The cycle repeats itself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's happening right now. So, the next time you take a swim at the beach or get water from the sink, think about the journey that those little water droplets took to get where they are today.